Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Canon View with Emeka here. And Arsenal just lost to Villareal in our preseason friendly. I think this is the penultimate one before the start of the season. Next we play Atletico Bilbao. But yeah, today against Villareal, we lost, man. Yeah, 3 goals to 2. But can I say it was a good loss? It felt good losing today. And I say it felt good losing today because we've got a tough start, this season. We've got Manchester United first game away next weekend. And we needed to feel what a loss feels like. And I believe that wakes us up. That wakes us up to know that, as we travel to Old Trafford, we are giving it everything. All right, to make sure that we come out with all 3 points. Even a draw is not good enough. This is the first time I'm thinking like we need to actually no, not the first time, but this time around I'm thinking we need to go to Old Trafford and get out there with nothing but a win. All right. Um. Anyway, that's all in the future. But let's talk about today because the starting lineup we saw it and yeah, kind of similar to what we might see at Old Trafford next weekend with the starting lineup, bar the substitutions that came on later. But I don't think everything. I just think maybe more like 75% of the people are here. So let's get into it. David Ryan goal. Ben White at right back. William Saliba right next to him as a right centre half. And then Jakub Kivior on the left. And then Miles Lewis Kelly as a left back today. Then in the middle of the park, we had Christian Norgaard in there, alongside Mikel Merino and Ethan Nwaneri. We'll get into that. We'll get into Nwaneri today. My God. And then up front, we had Bukayo Saka on the right. Victor Gyökeres started for us today. And then Gabriel Martinelli on the left-hand side. So let's just get straight into it because the game, started first 7 minutes, pure fire. Arsenal on the attack. Ethan Nwaneri, my goodness, this kid or this man was balling his eyes out today. He took today as my opportunity to show everyone that I am a starter. That I am a starter in the number 10 position and Odegaard should be coming off the bench to finish games. That was his mindset today and he executed it to perfection. All right, I'm not going to be more pedantic on that than I have already, but this guy today, you just have to see the game today. You have to, it's a preseason game, but you have to see Ethan Nwaneri's capabilities in the number 10 position today. The highlights. Check out that. For some people, it might be the man of the match, but for me, not exactly. So, yeah. And, I'm just saying this because he was totally unpredictable today. There were so many chances he could have gone out to Saka. Sometimes even instinctively, I was thinking, okay, give the ball to Saka. And he doesn't. And it's like a shock to me, a shock to my system. Like, we see that all the time. That when it's then, different, it's a shock to the fans as much as it was to the Villareal defenders because they couldn't contain him today. He was so unpredictable. He ran rings around the Villareal defenders today. But my man of the match, I'm just gonna get it out of the way. Christian Norgaard, solid. This guy was solid today, and he came up clutch for us. He also scored a goal. I'm thinking, this summer might go down, and some of the unpopular signings may actually end up being like very popular signings. Madueke wasn't very popular. He did come on as a sub, look good. But Norgaard today, my man of the match. My man of the match. He just held that, kept intercepting balls. They couldn't get past us, for most part of it, And then when we did concede defensive lapses and stuff, the first goal, First goal was just as scrappy as you can imagine, and I think it kind of unsettled the defense because as soon as the first goal went in, Kivio, who was kind of doing okay, went off. Went off, and he just had a poor game. Ended up being the worst player of the match. And anytime we lose, I try to give a worst player of the match. But he edges it from someone that came close. If we drawn the game today, someone else would have gotten the worst player of the match today. But yeah, Kivio, after we conceded the goal, you could see his head dropped. But then they scored, and I felt nothing from it because it was like, okay, we're not losing 3 points. It's kind of like a good baptism of fire for the boys, so they know that when we go to Old Trafford, none of this can be happening. So yeah, what was it called? Yeah, so I think it was around the 15th minute. Villareal score. Kivio was kind of poor in clearing the ball. He was trying to shield the ball instead of just putting his laces through and just getting the ball out of the stadium if he had to, like old school defenders would do. But he was trying to control it and play out the back, probably do what the manager tells him to do. Or I just think in that moment, it was on him to make a decision, and he made a poor one. So, and we paid the price. So, anyway, moving on. The right side still looking good with Ben White in there. Ben White and Saka link up so well. Ben White was intercepting balls before they could even get to the halfway line and laying it off to Saka. Their 1-2 was really good. Didn't amount to anything really, but it was a good watch to see Ben White link up with Saka. That chemistry, that synergy they have there. Very reminiscent of what we had, 2022, 2023 season. And it's just good to see that because as we would expect going forward, Ben White will play a little bit more games and Timber should get some rest or even go over to the left, because I'm thinking if Miles Lewis-Kelly's not playing, the next person I trust to play as a left back is Urin Timber. Before Calafiori, before Zinchenko, before Jakub Kiwior, I am playing Urin Timber first, after Miles Lewis-Kelly. And on Miles Lewis-Kelly, boy looks sharp today. He is ready. Between him and Nwaneri, this summer did wonders for them. Physically, you can see them that they've grown, looking more like men, even stature-wise. Nwaneri is putting a bit of muscle. What's his name? Miles Lewis-Kelly putting a bit of muscle as well. Taking on defenders, taking on Villareal defenders and attackers like, nothing. So yeah, Miles Lewis-Kelly was looking sharp while Nwaneri was just cooking the whole first half. Nwaneri cooked up until he got substituted. Mad. Then Martinelli is the one person who Kiwior edges it, from. If not, Martinelli probably would have been the worst player of the match today. That left-hand side, not going to talk about it. No point being hair splitting. It's been said already. Everyone knows. The fan base knows. Mikel Arteta probably knows. So it was actually one of the reasons why I was looking forward to this game today was to see what Madueke can do on that left-hand side. I'm sure we all saw the clips of him in training yesterday or a couple of days ago. And boy, looks sharp, man. That left foot looks lethal. Even his ball control, close ball control looks lethal. So he was the one I was actually looking forward to seeing today, and seeing what he could bring, even as much as Gyökeres, did, his part today. But I was really looking forward to Madueke because this is the first time we're seeing him in an Arsenal shirt. So, yeah. Moving on. Then around the 30th minute in the first half, Gyökeres, we've seen him already against Tottenham, but, he just came on to kind of finish the game in Hong Kong. But today, 13 minutes in, my man looked tired. He looked tired. I was like, yo, what's going on? You better wake up. And this is not like his baptism, in the Premier League. This is more like his Holy Communion. Do you know what I mean? If you know about the stages in, the Catholic or Christian life, whatever. But then this was like this is your second coming. So you have been in the Premier League, so you should know the pace and understand that okay, more is going to be demanded from you. You're going to need to work a little bit harder. I don't know if that's me, and he's just a typical number 9, because number 9s don't really work that hard. But it's not really. It wasn't about his work ethic today or work rate. He did work. He did chase back. He did close some balls down, especially when the game started. I saw the energy, but that energy faded. So probably a thing of fitness. He probably needs to get fitter over time. Yeah. So that said, then we go ahead and concede 2-0. Right in between the 30th minute and at some point we concede again. 2-0. Kivio poor again. Hence why he's getting worst player of the match. And I believe they did deserve that goal. Villareal, they did deserve that goal. That one was it was very well orchestrated, but their third goal was the best. Then come the 36th minute or so, just not long after they score, we get a set piece. Martinelli, another reason why he's not the worst player today, because he crosses the ball, and guess who's at the end of it? Norgaard. Great header down into the post, really cushioned header, great set piece taken by Martinelli, I'm not gonna lie. But you can see everyone else playing their part. Mikel Merino kind of pushing, getting players, away from Norgaard. And who else was in there trying to get players? Ben White or someone else, just being a nuisance. But then Norgaard gets a free header and heads it in. And then that's how we go 2-1 up just before the half. And then the second half is just going to be basically a breeze through. It starts, but then I just want to say one thing, because the camera kind of closed up on Mikel Arteta from behind, from an angle. And finally, Mikel has grey hair. It took this guy 6 seasons, or what, 5, 6 seasons to get grey hair. It shows the pressure is piling up. So let's see, man. I'm a big Mikel I'm a big Mikel Arteta fan, and I really cannot wait to see how this season pans out for him. I have no emotional attachments to players or managers anymore. So whatever happens, happens. But I'm sure he's feeling the pressure. But regardless, one thing he should take away from this game today, and which is what I took away from the game today, is that we finally have options. We finally have options, because come the second half, once we made the substitutions, or Mikel Arteta made the substitutions, you could see a different angle to our attack. We did concede one more goal, which was through a counter-attack, but then that's because we were attacking a lot. And then, Gabriel doesn't have the legs on him because he's still kind of coming back into fitness. Mosquera chased that ball down. Didn't get the ball, didn't get the block, but I see Mosquera chasing the ball down. And that's the difference between him and Saliba that I could see. Mosquera is a bit more raw and just, unrefined. Saliba is as refined as a defender gets. He is the most refined defender I've ever seen, and I can't wait to see him put pen to paper. Which actually has got me nervous. I can't lie. The fact that Saliba hasn't put pen to paper is making me nervous, and I'm like, oh man, this guy, please, just do it. Just do it. Do it. Anyway, and then just another thing I want to mention about the second half is Mikel Merino. I see you. I see you now. I understand you. I know what you're about. I'm going to be quick, yeah? I understand what you're about. You are like a level above Kai Havertz. Not the best defender, and not the best when you're closed, when, you have the ball, you kind of have to receive the ball with your back turned, and the defenders close you down. He's not the best at that. But this guy's technical ability is just through the chain. There was even a cross or something that came in from Max Dowman, and the way he just kind of flicked the ball, he's quality. Mikel Merino, I see you, and we need you. We need you, because he's almost like a more solid Kai Havertz. And I wonder where Kai Havertz was in this game. didn't play any part in today's game. Strange. And something else, yeah, the ref sucked. The ref sucked. He almost pissed Saka off into playing better, but then he got subbed not too long after. It was good to see him just go off and make sure, he doesn't get kicked. Saka played really well today. He didn't score, which is kind of like what we, have come to expect, that Saka must score in every game. And the games he doesn't score, you're thinking like, he didn't have that great of a game, but he did have a good game. Linking up with Ben White, remember what I said earlier, wasn't so bad. Then, like I said, the subs came on. The tempo kind of came up for a little while, but then we concede. Danjuma straight through pace. That's that thing we keep saying. Martinelli's got pace. Boy, Danjuma ran from halfway. That's proper pace, man. Great counter attack, and the finish impeccable. By then, Kepa was already in goal. Tried to save, done his best. Mosquera done his best, but hey, we concede. Then Dowman was part of the subs that came on. I'm sorry I have to rush Dowman. It's been said. Other channels, other guys will probably talk more on Dowman, but the kid, what more can I say? Incredible talent. And I'm worried because he needs to play first team football. And I don't know what it is about a 15-year-old playing first team football. I think it's more of a contract thing where he's not allowed to sign a professional contract, but then yeah, he needs to be part of the first team. This guy, man, he won us the penalty like he did against Newcastle. And, today, guy was just electric again. Odegaard stepped up, scored the penalty, 2-3. Game kind of finishes that way. There's nothing else to kind of talk about. Madueke got subbed on for Martinelli. Left-hand side lit up. We became unpredictable. They had like 2 players on him. So for me, front 3 against Manchester United, Madueke or Dowman, one of the 2 in that position. Gyökeres up front, because Gyökeres, yes, still up front, even though he looked tired. In the next, between now and next weekend, he should get up to fitness. Then Saka starting up on the right. That's the front 3 for me. Declan Rice came on, looked okay. Zubimendi is the last person I want to talk about. Zubi. This guy, something he showed today that I didn't expect, other than, him just being quality on the ball and, picking out great passes. But the guy has speed. Check it out. Go watch the game. Watch the clips. He has speed. And I like that. Because the physical, attributes have been a bit of a worry. Like, how's this guy going to deal with it, in the Premier League, coming up against, like, the bullies, the Joe Lintons, the Docores, and what's this, my man's name in Aston Villa. Yeah, how he's going to compete, but then he's got speed. So that's not a bad thing. And then Norgaard, incredible. Man of the match, Norgaard. Worst player of the match? Jakub Kiwior. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash a like on your way out. Wish you all peace and love. Stay tuned to the Cannon View. And don't forget to check out my Instagram page called the Silverback Athletes. All right? Go there, follow, get your workouts, especially dedicated for men my age, a little bit younger, from over 35s. All the best, stuff out there for you. Nutritional advice, everything. Go check it out. The best workouts to do to stay in shape. Still play basketball, play football. Like I said, I'm running 18-year-olds to 35-year-olds out of the gym. They can't keep up. So go see reason why why they can't keep up. No PEDs, no performance enhancement medicine. Let's not say the drugs. Yeah, but yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and peace and love. Take care.